Now we'll go on to new business. Over the last few weeks, I've been sitting here trying to think of what to say to start off our council. I've written down some stuff here I'd kind of like to read, and hopefully it'll come across well. So, good evening, Assistant Mayor, councilors, and citizens of the City of Claremont. I want to begin by saying how excited I am to be your mayor, and I want to challenge all of us sitting at this table to remember the reason we stepped up to volunteer in this capacity. The citizens of Claremont have bestowed an honor upon us as we continue to move our city in a positive direction. Many times we find ourselves dwelling on negatives. This is a common occurrence in many communities, not just Claremont. How might we correct this? Let us ponder the words of David Lynch. Negativity is the enemy of creativity. When you hear comments such as the city is heading in a bad direction, please take the time to think about the positives. Over the past 15 to 20 years, we've seen many areas of progress. One of the biggest accomplishments could be Water Street. In the not too distant future, we will have 83 new apartments available to our residents. The parking garage that took great vision to build will now be at near capacity. This past summer, the Pleasant Street project began, which is improving our infrastructure, which was nearly 100 years old. With the project being done over 2 construction seasons, we have been given the ability to see the configuration of the street prior to the project's completion. This allows us to address the potential concerns of residents and business owners. Typically, issues are not seen until a project is completed. I'm hopeful the Planning and Development Department can continue working with building owners to improve the building fronts and attract business to fill our empty spaces. This new configuration should be a conduit to having people come to our downtown. We are fortunate to have investors from inside and outside of Claremont recognize we have a vast potential. Our department heads have worked diligently to procure grants. This has allowed us to improve our infrastructure, reducing a direct impact on the property tax rates. Please take the time to think about our wonderful assets. The list includes our parks and city-owned buildings. I think many times we forget that our biggest asset is not the bricks and mortar, but the employees of the City of Claremont. They are the individuals who implement the work that moves our community in a positive direction. Next time you see an employee, thank them for the effort that they are putting in. We need to be a cohesive council and stop what appears to be a division between the city employees and the council. Over the past year, I've noticed most residents in the community aren't willing to speak at a public meeting, regardless if it's a positive or a negative thought. I ask each of you, whether you're sitting in council chambers or in the community, to take the time to listen to what a resident, city employee, or the city manager is offering to you. This is a great opportunity to hear the thoughts. Many times they will mention an idea that could make a positive change in the community. When you receive a phone call or an email, please take the time to respond. We are a council of 9. Not one person in the council is larger than the group. Whether you agree or disagree with a decision, we speak as a body of one once our votes are tallied. This does not mean you are not entitled to your own thoughts. When you speak out against the majority after a decision, this can be confusing to the public. When you speak out against your comments may be the first remarks they hear after a decision was made by the council. Understand we will never all agree on projects, budgets, or development within the city. This does not mean your opinion doesn't matter, but we need to accept the decision of the body and move forward. We will accomplish much more by being respectful to each other when the council is in session. Please have all comments be about the topic at hand, please. This will ensure meetings move at a reasonable pace. Let us not allow our comments to be disrespectful to each other. There is an expectation that the councilors will fill seats on boards and committees. A link was sent to your council email last week. I'm asking you to look at the specifics of each of these positions and on January 12th, we'll be accepting nominations to fill these seats. Attendance at these meetings is as important as being at your city council meeting. Some of the boards have several current citizen openings. If a council member does not show up, they may not have a quorum for the meeting. I also am asking residents to look at our current openings. Our city will run much better if we can get these seats filled as well. We're at an exciting time in Claremont's history. Every one of you will help shape our future. We will be working over the next several months to find a replacement for City Manager Morris. During this time, we are fortunate to have the experience of a seasoned city manager in Mr. McLean. We're going to have moments of adversity. Mistakes will happen. We need to support our leadership in city administration. We need to rally around our administration helping with solutions. Anyone involved in team sports soon realize that the strongest teams are the ones that have the greatest leadership, and the team rallies around the person who needs help. The team rallies together and doesn't dwell in the past. Over the past year, I have heard one of our main objectives is transparency to the community. I will be mindful of this objective and promise to get information out to the council and community so that it is timely and so that we may have thoughtful discussions with each other and our constituents. Councilors are expected to have reviewed their agendas and attach materials beforehand and be prepared for the ensuing meetings. Over the next couple months, the council needs to come up with goals and objectives. This list will help us to measure our progress over the next 2 years. Residents, please take the time to reach out to a counselor and let them know your thoughts. It's very important to us. Budget season will be coming upon us very quickly. We need to share our objectives on what we'd like to see implemented. The budget is the largest policy decision we make each year. In closing, I want to remind the council that our charge is to set policy, establish procedure, and fiscal management for the city of Claremont. We are not here to interfere with the day-to-day operations. The day-to-day operations will be conducted by the city manager and the department heads. I'm asking every member of the council and Claremont citizens to feel positive about the direction the city is moving. I look forward to working with every one of you. In closing, I would like to quote Abraham Lincoln, "Whatever you are, be a good one." Thank you for everything you have done in the past, and I look forward to a momentous future. The next thing I'd like to do is I'd like to thank Mr. Morris for his past 2.5 years. I'm sure most everybody in the audience and on TV were aware that Mr. Morris's last day with us is this Friday. I'm sure in some respects it's probably a sad moment for Mr. Morris, but it's also a happy moment for a new future for himself in the town of Enfield. We as a council would like to wish you nothing but the best. We appreciate everything you've done for us for the last 2.5 years, and again, thank you very much for everything you've done, Mr. Morris. Would anybody else like to have anything to say at the moment? Mr. Morris, are you all set, or?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for those words, and to thank the council and the city for the past 2.5 years as well. It's been a great time and a learning moment, and I think the city's set up to do great things. There's great things happening now, and there's really strong, good staff working on these projects. So I look forward to watching from my new position in Enfield, but I see good things happening to Claremont. As you said, there's investors inside and outside the city that are looking, and there's a lot of good projects and development going on. So just thank you for your kind words.
Thank you. Does anybody have anything else? If not, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.